Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Borino Worldwide Marketing Headquarters. It's your coach Borino. Welcome to our noon broadcast of our Wednesday live stream, specifically and exclusively for real estate rockstars. Welcome, rockstars. How are you? It's a lovely Wednesday here in Washington, D.C. Good to have you. We're going to spend the next few, 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, however long you want me to stick around. You can post questions. You can ask whatever is on your mind that can help you. I'm going to answer some questions that we have on our Rockstar group. There are a couple of things I wanted to share with you. I have a couple of invitations for you. So time well spent together as always. If you have anything for me, just type it in the comments below the video and I'll be more than happy to chat and answer your questions. With that, I wanted to chat with you first about what Jasmine posted. Jasmine is a rockstar real estate agent just starting recently. He's in New Jersey. Jasmine, if you're on the broadcast, welcome. It's good to have you. And he posted yesterday on Rockstars. Hi Rockstars, it's been a while since I posted anything here. I have been a buyer's agent now for past 9 months and making some money, but nowhere near enough. I kill myself doing it and I give so much commission to a team leader and getting, sorry to say, shitty leads, of course. Expired listings I have yet to do since full-time job is killing me. I still have a full-time job and I'm still doing part-time real estate. I love real estate so much, I'm really passionate about it, but what do I do about Crossroad now where I want to branch out full-time but don't have adequate savings to jump on my own? Borino, you are really inspiration every time. Thank you for that. I come back to here to check how our things are going. Anyone please have a recommendation or a story to share or how I can freaking break free and do things I love. Have a wife, mortgage, and a kid, so it's something I can just jump in. If I was single a long time, I would take the leap. Please help if you can. Can you relate to that? It's like a catch-22. For some of you veterans, this may probably bring some memories back, right? You're not making enough money to go full-time, but you can't make enough money because you're not full-time. So now you're stuck in this catch-22. So let's detangle it, and this will help you whether you're part-time or full-time, whether you're new or inexperienced. And this is really the theme of what I wanted to talk to you about today. You're in that situation where you are full-time, you're hustling, but it's not paying off. So I want to strip off all the distractions, all the complicated, complex thoughts that you have, fears that you have, or the information that's coming your way, and boy, is there overall these days, right? Not just real estate. You're bombarded by all this bullshit about the elections and about the Republicans and the Democrats. You're bombarded about what you should be doing and not should be doing, and all these things just create this one giant confusion many times. At least for me. Can you relate to that? Yeah? So let's strip all that away, all that good intended advice, all those ideas, everything. We're going to narrow it down. We're going to simplify layer after layer after layer. What's underneath it all? There's only one word underneath all of that. There's only one word, one answer, one simple answer that will solve your money problem, your real estate problem, your life problem, everything. And that word is leads. Leads. Think about it for a second. If you had a solid stream of motivated leads, preferably seller leads, you know me, I don't recommend working with buyers. That's going to drive you crazy and going to drive your business to the ground. But if you had these funnels set up, maybe 3, maybe 4 at the most, that can predictably produce a stream of good qualified leads, would your business be better? Would your bank account be bigger? Would you be better off? The answer is yes, of course. That's the core. Because without a stream of leads, you don't have appointments. Without appointments, you don't have listings. Without listings, you don't have a business. You have a very expensive and stressful hobby. Right? Can you agree? Can you relate to that? So here is my suggestion to you. If you're not where you want to be, the first thing we need to troubleshoot, when I have clients come to me or students come to me and they ask about how do I get on track or how do I make more money, how do I get my business to the next level, the answer is always the same. Focus first and foremost on your lead generation. Because that is the core of your business. That is where your business lies. That's the answer to everything. So your funnels and the quality of them and the quantity and quality of the leads they produce will equal your success and your income. And I know what you're thinking probably right now. You're thinking, well, hold on, Borino, there's more to it. Of course there's more to it than that. Absolutely. You have to have a good follow-up, good communication skills. You need to know the business, know the market, all that. But none of that really matters if you don't have a lead generation system in place. And preferably multiple. So you're not market dependent, you're not season dependent. You're not economy dependent. Why do you think I spent the last 20 years working, teaching, prodding you, nudging you towards high probability leads? I always call them HPL, high probability leads. Because that's the low-hanging fruit. That's the lowest hanging fruit. You naughty minds, what are you thinking right now? That's the easiest to pick fruit. Regardless of the market, there will always be expired listings. We're here in DC, very hot market right now. Super hot. Things are moving, multiple offers, listings selling like hotcakes. Hard to come by. We still have 30-40% of the inventory doesn't sell first time around. It's probably the same in your area. Now, you will not have 15, 20 expireds every day, granted. But if you go back and you start working old expireds, there will always be some. That's a high probability lead, low-hanging fruit that you can identify, contact, follow up with, and most likely convert fairly easily compared to other methods. Same with for sale by owners. There is no other lead source where you can log into a system or even go on Craigslist right now and pull 5, 10 leads and start communicating with them, start contacting them. Does that make sense? Sphere of influence, same thing. Start working your sphere if you're not. Not annoying them. Don't do the Amway shit on them. You know what I mean? Because they will stop taking your calls. But that doesn't mean you cannot be helpful and cool and connected with them. Be interested in them. Genuinely connect with them as human beings. Now, there are 37 other methods how you can generate seller leads right now. And whatever funnels you choose, there are certain criteria that you have to have in place. How fast can I get the leads? How affordable is this funnel? How much I enjoy working it? Because there are some things, no matter how profitable are, you know you're not going to do. I know I won't. Like there were certain things that I just knew this is not me. And if I would have to do this all my life, then I don't want to do real estate. But there's a fine line between deciding the right funnel and killing your business. Because if you don't want to work the high probability leads, if you don't feel comfortable talking to strangers, then you're fucked. I mean, there is no help. There is nothing that I can do or say to you that would give you an alternative to that. You with me so far? So what I would like you to do, strip everything away and start with, how am I getting my leads now? Number one, do I have a system? And it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be 174 steps. That's why I'm very careful about what systems and how I teach you. Because if it's too complicated, if it comes with a 300-page manual, then God knows you're not going to do that. So make sure the steps are simple. Start with that. How effective is it? In other words, the leads that we would generate, what quality and how soon can I start seeing them? For my first about 2 years in the business, I used to door knock a lot. It's a good way to get leads. It totally still works. It worked back then, it works now. You get your exercise, you get to know the neighborhood, you get to talk to people, you're out there, you're doing something. It's an active prospecting. It's good, you're gonna get leads. There's only one small problem with that. A lot of the leads you're gonna get are long-term leads. 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 2 years down the road. So there's an incubation time. So consider all these factors. Does it require money? Is the lead generation system something that requires a lot of money? I'll give you an example. Facebook right now. Good source of leads, it works. But you have to put some money into the advertising, into the campaigns for it to be visible and start producing results for you. If you have the budget for it, fantastic. Explore, learn, use it. But if you don't, there are other methods. So evaluate all these components and then ask yourself, which ones am I going to build and implement right now? Now there is one catch, one trap that I'm just as guilty when it comes to implementation, and that's perfection. I still need to get my brochure done. I still need to get these letters set up. I still need to do the postcards. I still need to do this and this and this. Which many times is nothing but an indicator of procrastination. And where that comes from is just an avoidance behavior. Because for so many people, being out there, knocking on doors, talking to strangers, calling people, doing all these things that you must do is not very comfortable. So we come up with this construct of, well, I can't do this because I don't have that, because that needs to be still perfected. And then days go by, weeks go by, months go by, sometimes years go by. And you're getting ready to get going, to get started, to prepare, to begin. But nothing really gets done. Start right now. Take a few moments after we finish this broadcast and just evaluate, how am I getting my leads? Like over the last 6 months, look back. Where is your business coming from? Where are most of your leads and listings and transactions coming from? If something is already working, fantastic. Can you improve it? Can you do more of that? And then, what funnels can you add to it? Which brings me to my invitation. I am doing a special webinar. This Saturday, I wanted to put together something new for you, give you more options, because I know I've been harping about FSBOs and expireds and Sphere and the usual stuff for quite some time. So I want to give you some alternatives. So it's going to be like this giant Las Vegas buffet, you know what I mean? A 3/4 of a mile long table where we're going to spend probably a couple hours going over every meal on that table, every possible lead generation system you can implement or add to your existing business. There'll be 40 of them. I'm going to offer you 40, maybe 42. Some are online, some are offline. Some are active marketing strategies and lead generation systems. Some are passive, where the leads come to you. Some require zero investment. Some are quite expensive. Some require a lot of effort. Some are fairly easy. What I would like you to do is spend these 2 hours with me on Saturday and go through each one with me. I will give you some pros and cons. I will give you some basic steps you can take to start exploring if this is something that would benefit your business. And then you decide. Then you can learn it, perfect it, implement it, and profit from it. So that's our plan for this Saturday. Now, here's one thing I want to tell you about. This is not the usual free webinar that I normally do for you, although I know that you know that a lot of the information I share, you would have to pay a lot of money to somebody else and not get even that much. But I wanted to do something different because, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had the terrorist attack in France, in Nice, France. And I saw it on the news, and I saw the report that there were 2 Americans who got killed during that attack. But I didn't connect the name to one of ours. One of the agents, your colleague, our rockstar, federal rockstar, Troy Copeland, was directly and horribly affected by this tragedy. It's a sad event, and we live in difficult times these days. But if it hits this close to home, where one of us is so directly affected, it hurts even more, and it hits even more. And it's nice that people send prayers and thoughts, and we're compassionate human beings, but I wanted to do something a little more. And because the family, the Copeland family, is so directly impacted, the person killed, Troy's brother, Sean, and his son, 11-year-old son, they got killed. So what I decided to do is put together a webinar, teach you all that good stuff, and as a token of appreciation, you're going to give a small donation to the Copeland family, to Sean's family and Brody, who was his son. I asked for only $7. Now, some of you have been extremely generous, and I very much appreciate you guys. We had donations as high as $100. Thank you so much for all that. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to the page. I can actually post a link right now, or there is a link right below. Register for the Saturday webinar, make a small donation, $7, $10, whatever you can. And then you're going to go to a registration page. You register for the webinar. We're going to get together on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to spend 2 hours together analyzing all these lead generation funnels to help you. You're going to ask questions. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. I'll be on video like this one, and you're going to see the information. As a special bonus to all of you, I'm going to also include a tool. It's called the Business Builder. The Business Builder is an automated Excel spreadsheet where you're going to have the list of all the funnels that we're going to talk about on Saturday, every single one. Some of them you're doing, some of them you may be familiar with, some of them you may not have heard of, some of them you may be curious about. So it's going to be all listed there. And then we're going to give it some criteria. And then we're going to analyze it. And you're going to assign a certain score to it, which will help you make sense of it. Because I don't want you to walk over and going, fuck me, 4 lead generation systems, what am I going to do first, second, third? And then you're just going to jump on Facebook and have a sandwich. Right? Isn't it how it sometimes is? I know. I'm just as guilty, trust me. So the Business Builder will help you kind of see it all organized. You will assign these scores to it. Then you're going to push a button and it will sort them for you in order in which you should start implementing these or adding to them to your existing business. So that's what we're going to do Saturday. Please register. A whole bunch of you already registered and donated. Thank you so much in the name of the Copeland family. I really appreciate it. All the proceeds, 100%, every penny we're going to collect will be forwarded to them immediately. All right, so that's what's going to happen this Saturday, and that's also the question I wanted to answer. How do I get on track? What do I do? If I'm not where I want to be, or if I want to go full-time, the first thing you got to do to really jumpstart your business is focus on leads. Start with leads. Your income is directly related to the quality and to the quantity of the leads you're generating. So Jasmine, Nino, I hope that answered your question. Let me know if I can help. Of course, all the systems I have are to help you generate leads. I focus mostly on that because I know that if you have enough potential leads that you're working with, that you're following up with, some of them will convert, even if you're not the master of follow-up, even if your listing presentation is not the greatest, not the most polished. If you have enough of these potential sellers, some will convert, and enough to make a difference. Yeah? All right. All right, so that was the first question. I also want to talk to you about the 40 strategies, so we got an invitation done. Thank you, by the way, for all the great posts, for the inspirations and the questions that come on the Rockstars. I very much appreciate it. So here's a little exercise for you. First, I would like you to write down where your business is coming from right now. Just break it down. Look back at the last 6 months, maybe 12 months. Where are you getting your listings from? Where's the business coming from? And if you don't know, trouble. Do a little analysis. Don't overthink it. This doesn't need to be a 3-hour exercise. This needs to be a few minutes. Don't do it right now, but when we finish in a few minutes, spend some time, analyze. What is working for me right now? Then the second part to that is I want you to, and be brutally honest, and this is hard for many of you. Where do you invest your time, your energy, your focus, and your money? Where do you put your time, focus, energy, and money? What do you believe you spent in terms of time, energy, focus, and money over the last 6 months? And is that a match? In other words, are you focused on stuff that's bringing you business? And if the answer is no, you got to stop. You got to fix it. So here's my general recommendation. I will not have time to do a time management / productivity broadcast for you today. Maybe we'll do it sometime later, although on Listing University there is a session specifically on that. But here's what I would like you to do. If you work 4 hours a day as a part-time agent, devote 50% of that time to lead generation. Active lead generation, where you're actively seeking the business. Start with the high probability leads, new expireds, old expireds, withdrawn listings, canceled listings, for sale by owners, sphere of influence, open house leads, door knocking leads, cold calling leads. That would be my list. That's how I would start. At the top, go work my way down. Start with that. If you work full time and you work 8 hours a day, 4 hours of those need to be spent on lead generation and follow-up. Half of your day working, if you want to increase your income and be productive and profitable, spend on lead generation and follow-up. Those are the two most important activities to generate more business. There is nothing more important. Nothing. Hear me. There is nothing more important. Okay? I hope I got through. Nothing. Lead generation, follow-up. Take care of existing leads, generate more. Now here is the trap. And the trap is, I got this one FSBO, and we're going to talk about that one specific FSBO. Remember, I'm going to find the post and I want to answer that. But I got that one FSBO, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. I got this one expired, I got this one listing and one seller. And you get stuck on that one, or God forbid, on that one buyer that's about ready to get going to write an offer pretty soon, maybe. Right? You get stuck on that one. Or that one deal that's just going sideways on you, and you need to babysit it and nurture it and put out fires twice a day. Or the one listing that you just can't sell, that you obsess over which photographs to use and what sites to advertise and how to promote it and how to market it. Stop. Never focus on just one client, one lead, one property, one listing, one anything. That's a business suicide. That's where the yo-yo comes from. Devote some time of the day to it. Absolutely. Good customer service, important. Communication with your clients. Taking care of your clients, making sure the deal closes and you get paid. Absolutely. But it's not the whole day. It's not the whole productive day. And God forbid, don't do it in the morning, where you're sharp, where you have the energy, when you're ready to go, when you're focused, you're unstoppable. And then you waste it on bullshit emails, then you're wasting it on blogs, then you're wasting it on phone calls that can be done later. That's the blessing and a curse of this business. The freedom. The freedom. Because you can do whatever you want whenever you want it. Right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking over your shoulder telling you what to do. So this is where the discipline and the focus and good habits kick in. Do the important stuff, the dollar stuff, in the morning. Get that out of the way first thing in the morning. When you're fresh, when you're enthusiastic, when you're unstoppable. And then worry about emails and fires and admin stuff and the business stuff and the dancing cat videos or my Pokemon Go video. Have you seen it? That's creating so much controversy. Do it later. But prioritize 1, 2, or maybe 3 things that are the critical, most productive things you can do that day. Starting today. Lead generation, follow-up. Nothing more important. Okay? So promise me, do that. And if you really want to crank it up a notch, put it in your calendar. Time block it. 2 hours, nothing but lead generation. Half an hour, nothing but lead follow-up. And lead follow-up, of course, incorporates everything. Phone calls, sending some emails, sending postcards, sending letters, whatever you need to do to be in touch with the leads you already generated. Cool? Danitza Niklas posted, I've been focusing on FSBOs and I've gotten several appointments this week. A seller who clearly knows what he's doing, has a lockbox on the door and doesn't want to be there when I stop by. Is there at any point in my going, or how do I convince him not to leave? So first of all, kudos for following up with the FSBO, for working the FSBOs. That's absolutely fantastic. One thing that differentiates you from majority of the other agents is you're actually out there doing it, Danitza, which is fantastic. That's really, really good. You'd be surprised how small percentage of real estate agents actually get off their butt. Now, not you, rock stars. We are a special group. That's why I created this group. But you're out there actually hustling. So let me give you some points that will help you with this specific for sale by owner. Number one, he went by owner. He doesn't know what he's doing. Unless he's a real estate agent or a very seasoned real estate veteran like an investor, it's possible. If that's the case, if he knows how to sell a house and if he's done it before, if it's priced right, there's a chance he may sell it. Maybe, maybe not. But just the fact that when for sale by owner means either one of two things. Either he knows absolutely how to get it done and he doesn't need you, or he has no clue how to do it. Just the fact that he has a lockbox on doesn't mean anything other than he knows how to put a lockbox on. My 12-year-old son could probably do the same thing, install a lockbox. So don't assume that just because he's taken certain steps, he knows what he's doing. Most for sale by owners don't. Here is how I know. Statistically, National Association of Realtors has been tracking it for the last 15 years at least. 8% of homes sold out of 108 are for sale by owners. 92% are sold by an agent. What does that tell you? Most of them don't know what they're doing. Most of them don't sell. It is just too hard and too complicated. So I am willing to bet he doesn't know what he's doing. Most for sale by owners don't. That's why 8% sell. The rest don't. 8% of the transactions for sale by owners. The rest, listed properties. So FSBOs don't know what they're doing. They think they do, but they don't. Now, here's even more interesting statistic. Out of those 8%, half sold the property to somebody they already knew. Usually a relative or a close friend or a neighbor. What that means is that their marketing abilities, their negotiating abilities, their closing abilities, zero. Nada. Nothing. They don't know what they're doing. They can't do it. It's too hard. It's too hard for people who make a lot of money doing this for a living, let alone for somebody who's an amateur. You with me? So, number one, don't assume. Don't ever assume. You really don't know. Is it possible? It's possible. But even that doesn't mean anything. You with me? So, number one, don't assume. Number two, talk to him. Talk to him like a human being. He's been bombarded by real estate agents. Most of them very incompetent, many of them reciting some 20, 30-year-old scripts about why he should list with an agent. He heard it all. It's done. That's why he's protecting himself. This is just a wall. Wall of protection that expireds and FSBOs and many sellers put up. We do it all the time. You and I do it all the time. You walk into the store, wallet in a hand, right, ready to buy. Salesperson approaches you, can I help you? And you say what? I'm just looking, right? Defense. This is his defense. Maybe you get through, maybe you won't, but I would definitely try. Here's what I would do. Follow up with him, talk to him, be cool and helpful. Offer advice, offer tips, ask him what would help him the most. Maybe it is to open up open house for him. Maybe you can help him with a nice video. Maybe you can offer him to design a flyer for him. Maybe offer a market update. Maybe all of the above, one at a time. Maybe just answer his questions. I don't know. But I am certain that going through a process like trying to sell your house on your own, he's got questions, he's got problems. The fact that he hasn't sold yet tells you that it is complicated and there is a very good chance he's going to list sooner or later. Chances are he will. Most FSBOs, you saw my interview with FSBOR, remember the website FSBOR? They've been analyzing it for the last 2 years. They know that 70%, 7 out of 10 FSBOs list with an agent in 30 days. So odds are with you. This is good. The fact that he's pretty stubborn and has these defenses just means a lot of agents will slam against it, give up, go to the next one. You stay with him. Doesn't cost anything. One phone call here and there, maybe a text here and there, short email, send him something in the mail. If at all possible, meet him in person. But if you can't, it's not all lost. I would still maintain the communication with him. Persistence with your follow-up pays huge dividends in this game. Now, what if he does list with somebody? What if he does sell on his own? It's possible. But the rule I want you to follow is this. Until and unless he does, it's game on. It's game on. The only criteria with FSBO is how motivated they are. That's the only filter. This guy has a lockbox on the property. It sounds to me like he's pretty serious about selling. Keep in touch. Absolutely keep in touch. No reason why you wouldn't. There's no downside to it. What's the worst that can happen? Keep in touch. Definitely keep in touch. It may take some time. It may take some work. It may take effort. And maybe you'll never meet him in person. But I wouldn't just give up. With that being said, remember what I said earlier. Never get stuck just on one lead, one FSBO, one seller. Go get some more. Because there are plenty of people out there who need your help. Plenty of FSBOs and expireds and sellers. Even a buyer or two. Okay? So just keep going. Maintain the relationship and maintain the connection with the leads you have. Good follow-up is important. Conversation is the most important part of it. That's where the magic happens. When you actually get to talk to them over the phone or preferably in person. I cannot give you any magic script that would suddenly put him in a hypnotic state and say, oh, Danica, come on. Let's talk. Come visit me. I must talk to you in person. Doesn't work that way. But through repetition and persistence, you're going to create familiarity. That's the first step. They're familiar with you. They recognize your name, and with a name like Danica, it's easy to remember because it's unique. That's why I have a unique name. That's the reason behind Borino. I wanted to stand out. I didn't want it just to be another blah, blah, blah. So your persistence creates familiarity. He'll be familiar with you. Through familiarity, you will develop comfort. He will be comfortable asking you questions, communicating with you. Maybe even he calling you, hey, Danica, there's a new listing around the corner. What is it listed for? Through familiarity and comfort, you're going to develop trust. Once the trust is in place and he's motivated, you will be the first one he's going to call when he's ready to list. Make sense? Was that helpful? So keep in touch while you're getting more. Because, and these are my numbers, your numbers will be very different. Please don't quote me. I'm not making any promises. You know the legalese, I have to always tell you. But you should convert 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 FSBOs should be your listing, especially if you use the FSBORINO system. That's my expectation. If you follow the system, you can do about 25%. In other words, out of 4 FSBOs you contact and follow up with and communicate with, one, at least one, should turn into a listing. Maybe more, but 1 should be the standard that I would expect. Yes? So if you follow up with 4 FSBOs a week, guess what? That's 1 listing a week. That's doable. Can you get 4 FSBOs on the system? In other words, can you have 4 for sale by owners weekly that you communicate with, that you help with, that you hold an open house for, that you help pre-qualify the leads, talk to them, coach them, guide them? There is one catch to this whole thing. It needs to be genuine. You cannot just pretend to care and pretend to help, but deep inside you go, I hope you don't sell, fucker. I really want this listing. I need this listing because I'm almost broke, and this listing is the one thing I need right now. Otherwise, my wife tells me to get a real job. We all been there. I know. You know what I mean? So don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. No desperation, be genuine. Genuinely try to help. Be cool. Listen. Ask questions. Offer. No agenda. And at the end, they will come to you. It's a magnetic, it's a pull strategy. Much more powerful because push strategy works if you apply enough force. But there are 2 things that are happening. Number 1, resistance, which makes it uncomfortable. And number 2, you got to strain. There's a lot of effort you got to put into that. And I never enjoyed it. I don't know about you, but I never wanted to be the traditional salesman bashing people over that. So the pull, if it's genuine and it's organic, will literally suck them into your world, where they realize you're very different. You never have to sell them on being different because you are different. And this not only works with for sale by owners, this works with any type of a lead. Está bien? Post an update. Let us know how it goes. Armindo says Zillow, FSBO.com, and Craigslist, just to name a few where you can find FSBOs. Absolutely. Totally. Very good point. BG says, if you want, I can have a copy of list of websites provided for FSBOs. There you have it. I would add to it, those are actually good. Craigslist, FSBO, and Zillow. You start with these 3, you're going to get some. And if you want to pay for a service, you can use something like Espresso or RedX or LandVoice, where they have a package. In addition to the expires, they will also provide FSBO leads for you. And sometimes just driving around. Now, if you drive around, Borino Advanced Strategy. Most agents, keep driving. Not today, I'm not ready. I don't have the right tie on and my car is not very clean, and I'll do it later. Right? Some agents will stop. They write down the phone number, they write down the address. I'll call them from the office when it's quiet, when I can focus. I need to be in the right place. They never do. Right? They never do. You've done it. Come on, admit it. I know you've done it. And then a small group, rock stars, will not only stop, they will get out of the car, knock on the door, and have a little conversation with the seller. Hey, sir, for sale sign, awesome. I like the fact that you're trying to save commission. That's brilliant. I mean, if I could sell $10,000, $15,000, makes perfect sense. And then you get into qualifying questions. Where are they going? How soon they like to be there? Ask if it would be okay to get a quick tour, 5-minute tour, take a couple pictures so I can forward it to my buyers. Anything else I can do to help? Boom, done. 10-minute visit. They can pay huge dividends down the road. Because now you have a face-to-face communication. They will remember you. They can put the name to the face. You stand out. Yeah? So do it that way, in addition to the online. And just driving around when you're up and about, dropping off kids at school. I was dropping off kids at the camp, summer camp last week. New FSBO popped up. Quick update on our workshop here in DC. This will be the only live workshop I'm organizing, I'm putting together. We're going to spend 2 days together. And I want to teach you some really cool advanced communication strategies. Strategies that you can use on the phone, that you can use in person, you can use with FSBOs, expireds, open house leads, any leads that you come in contact with in any form of communication. We're going to incorporate some hypnotic language, some neuro-linguistic programming. This is not about memorizing some silly scripts. This is about owning in your mind a dialogue outline that works, that converts a stranger into a lead, into a connection, into trust, into a client, and a commission. That's what we're going to work on. 2 full days, nothing but this. From prospecting, to objections, to follow-up, and your listing presentation. You're going to know what to say. We're going to work on the language. You're going to know how to say it, how to shift the state, how to go from nervous, how to go from anxious, how to go from insecure, just okay, to powerful, confident, pleasant. In 48 hours. That's my goal. Day 1, how to get leads and turn those leads into appointments. And you're going to role play, you're going to practice. We're going to do a lot of stuff right there in the classroom. That's the cool part about it. That you're going to hear it, you're going to see it, and you're going to do it. You're going to practice it. Then on day 2, we're going to do your listing presentation. We're going to put it together so it's effective. You don't struggle with pricing, you don't struggle with commissions, you don't struggle with getting a listing in the first place. How to do that? You're going to see yourself on camera, we're going to analyze it, I'll be right there with you. We're going to work hand in hand on this until you feel competent and you feel confident. It's the only type of course available in the world like that. There's nobody else who will teach you what I'm about to teach you and what you're about to experience through observation, through actual practice, through hearing it, seeing it, feeling it, sensing it. Yeah? It's going to be really good. I want you to be unstoppable, confident rockstar. If that resonates with you, go to topconfidence.com/live. Check it out. We have an early bird special that's going to end in, I think, like just a few days. If you want to jump on it, we're going to send you a ticket, book your hotel. Here's the problem. The problem is we're going to do this October 3rd and 4th, Monday, Tuesday. Here in DC, you have to actually physically be here because the stuff we're going to do together, we're going to practice and work on, I can't do over video, there is no other way. Some of you have been through it, right? It's pretty cool. But we will be about a month away from the elections. We are in Washington, D.C. You're going to be about 5 miles from the White House. Cool time. October is a great time to visit the city. So if you want to bring family and spend a couple days exploring the museums and exploring the sites, that would be a great opportunity to do that. However, a month away from elections, the hotels fill up like crazy. News, television stations, everybody's in town. The town goes nuts before the election, as you can imagine. So the hotel will sell out. We have a block of rooms, and I don't remember exactly how many, I think it's like 25 or 30 rooms, reserved for you guys who are out of town. In order for you to get the discount, of course, you must first purchase the ticket, then you get a special link, and you can register your room. I recommend, if you already have a ticket, book your room immediately. It will sell out. It will sell out. It does every year, not just the workshop, but this time the hotel will be completely booked. We actually had to move the date because of the elections. So, if you want to come, and if you feel like this would really benefit you, be more confident, be more competent, come across as more in control in any type of a conversation or prospecting, then this is a workshop for you. I would love to work with you in person, meet you in person, but we got to do this now. That's why we have the deadline, that's why we have the early bird, to inspire you to take action now, jump on it so you can get the ticket, book your room, and then book your flight. Cool? So that's that huge sales pitch about Confidence Live, Communication Confidence Live, that's coming to Washington, D.C. We're going to get together on Saturday. I'm going to give you the 40 different sources of seller leads that you can incorporate in your business right now. And I will see you in October here in D.C. We're also planning My friends Nick and Tristan from Lab Coat Agents, which if you're not a member of, you absolutely should be. That's by far my second favorite real estate group here on Facebook, Rockstars being the first one, obviously. But it's a great bunch of people, about 35,000 agents on it, exchanging great ideas and tips. A lot of it is on technology and cutting-edge stuff. We are putting together a 3-day event in Miami, Florida, towards the end of October. And I'll be one of the featured speakers there. Looking forward to it. We're going to spend 2 days there working together with everybody else with Lab Coat Agents on a killer conference there. So I'm really looking forward to it. All right, friends. Oh, I see what you mean, Gary. I understand now. What if you get a FSBO who says, well, I'm going to do an open house on Saturday. That's the only time you can come and visit. Fine. Go there on Saturday. Make it easy. Don't need to be stubborn. If that day doesn't work for you, you can say, well, you know what, that day I'm with the family, I don't do real estate. Is there any other day I can swing by and I can get a 5-minute tour? Here's the trick, Gary. Use 2 strategies, or 3 really. One, of course, is don't be attached to the outcome. Don't worry about it too much. Remember what I said, don't get stuck on one. One will be a dick. There's always that one who is just difficult and unpleasant to deal with. Let him go. Don't worry about it. The rest, be reasonable with them. If they say, well, why don't you come by on an open house? We're doing an open house on Saturday. Trust me, that FSBO is not going to have a line of people waiting outside. It doesn't work that way. So just go, chat with them on the day of the open house. It's not going to be that busy. The best time to do it is either super early or super late towards the end of the open house. That's what I would do. Take any chance and any opportunity to just talk to them. So that's strategy number 1. Don't be attached. Strategy number 2, be confident and in control. Sometimes these are just tests. They're testing your integrity. They're testing what kind of confidence level and competence level you have. So push back a little. Throw it back. Say, well, you know what? I'm available tomorrow at 4:45. I would like to stop by. Third strategy you're going to include there, it's called a time constraint. See, what these FSBOs are worried about, Gary, is that you're going to spend half an hour to an hour yapping away how great your company is, how fantastic of an agent you are, and how they should be listing with you. They don't want to hear it. They don't give a shit. At this point, they want to test it. They want to try. They want to give it a try before they realize, bad idea, plan B. Okay? But give them the opportunity to test it. Remember the force? You can't push them. You cannot convince them. On the contrary, the more you try to convince them, the more pushback you're going to get. So, the third strategy is time constraint. You tell them, I want to get a 10-minute tour, quick tour. That accomplishes 2 things. Number 1, it alleviates their resistance because now they know it's going to be for 10 minutes, no big deal. And number 2, it positions you as busy. You're a busy professional. You're not stuck on just that one particular property, that one particular seller. You got things to do. That's always a good sign. That always puts you in a much better position than a bunch of other agents who would spend half an hour just blah, 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 trying to sell themselves or convince the seller to list with them. All right, Gare? You got this. It really comes down to just confidently communicating with the seller. Because if the seller sees the benefit, meeting a professional agent, offer something of help, like the websites we talked about, offer them some websites where they can advertise, offer them something that would help them. Why would they say no? That doesn't make sense. Hang in there. These are good times. I know it sounds and looks like from all that shit going on around us that the world is coming to an end. It's not. If you look at our world historically, from a historic perspective, we live in a fantastic, peaceful, amazing times. And I know personal turmoil like you, Troy, experience and many others, it doesn't feel like that at times. It doesn't feel like that for me at times. But then we have to step back and put things in perspective, that these are really amazing times to be alive, to be part of this great things going on around us. You want to feel better? You want to have less stress, less tension? Stop following politics. Stop thinking this foolish thought that the dude with the funny hair or that woman with whatever is going to make a change in your life. Nonsense. There'll be no change. You still have to get up in the morning. You still have to do your thing, kiss your kids, kiss your spouse, and go to work. Hustle. It's not going to change. It's not going to have any impact at all. Don't get worked up over that bullshit. Give that up. Focus on things that matter. Your health, your family, your life, your business, your clients, your future. Focus on that. Devote your energy to that. Because following all that noise and all that bickering is not going to accomplish anything other than make you feel bad, make you feel worked up, make you feel nervous and stressed and tense. Nobody benefits from that. I know you don't. I know I don't. That's why I don't do that. That's why I don't get involved in politics at all. So stop. Read something cool. Watch something interesting. Listen to something interesting. Get a good book. Help a friend. Help a client. But Borino, I don't have a client. I know, get one. Or more. Get a whole bunch. All right, friends. Thanks for being here today. Coach Borino signing off. Appreciate it very much. Let's go get them. I'll talk to you all on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. How to deploy 40 strategies, 40 different methods and techniques to get you more seller leads in this market. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of the Wednesday. Let's go get them. Bye, everybody.